Hello and welcome to Campaign Comrades, your favorite leftist gaming podcast. Today, it is not technically the middle of February. We are shifting things a little bit, doing our gaming check-in episode technically a week early.
There is no middle of February. It's exactly 4 weeks, so we wouldn't be able to record.
It's still a little early, and basically hasn't been that long since we've done our last check-in. So, as is still often the case, there's probably going to be the most crossover between what people have been playing last month to this month. I, however, have kept up my usual pace of mixing in a couple really short things, and so I've got a decent chunk of things to bring. I'm not gonna talk about all of them, but I want you to guess how many games have I beaten so far in 2026.
In 2026,
8.
let's see. Yeah, I was gonna go. That was gonna be my guess too.
Yeah, I've started number 9, and that's gonna be one of the ones I'm bringing to the show. But yeah, I have beaten 8 games in less than 2 months, and a good portion of that comes from, let's see, 1, 2, 3 games under 10 hours, one of them under 5, the other one a single hour, so that definitely helps boost the number, right? But I'm not going to bring
boost those numbers
all to the show. Last month, I had basically brought my holdover from New Year's, but then, I talked a little bit about Avatar. I had just started Kiwami. I finished Yakuza Kiwami, thought it was pretty good. Played Persona 5 Tactica, Matt, which is one I know you're at least familiar with, and is probably my first game of the year that I would not recommend. It ultimately had some problems. The main one being it talks at you so fucking much. Like, I am not usually one who cares about dialogue in games, but the amount of time spent in just repeated discussions in between the missions that were themselves pretty fun, if a little too easy, is my main compliment. It's a pretty good turn-based tactics game, but then it just talks and talks and talks and talks. Oh my fucking god. It was so much talking.
How? Because Persona's already a turn-based game.
Yes, but not tactics.
So is the tactics aspect, like, I guess,
moving around on the grid?
Okay.
Although this technically isn't a grid, but it is, but isn't a grid. It's got more free movement. The movement is very similar to the Mario and Rabbids sequel. It's like you have basically you have a certain range that you can go in, but basically you can just kind of freely move within it, and even moves until you've done your action. Your move isn't locked. You can move around, switch to another teammate, and move around. Very similar in that regard, actually, to the Mario and Rabbids.
Persona 5, the base game, has combat most similar to Metaphor. Doesn't have as much overworld combat. Persona 5 Tactica
doesn't have any overworld combat. The only thing it has is a surprise attack. It's a surprise attack. That's it. I don't count that as combat.
Tactica is more of a grid-based tactics style game, and then there's Persona 5 Strikers, which is more of a pure action combat.
That's a real-time Musou game. That's like a Warriors game. Yeah, that's my first don't recommend of the year. But I did see
played it on PlayStation.
Yeah,
I have it on Switch.
Which I'm sure it runs fine, and would be a good enough handheld game. But that's not even one of the ones that I want to talk about. But it's just my first kind of miss of the year. I played Ys 9, Monstrum Nox. That was pretty good, although I think I like Ys 8 better. I like the deserted island setting better.
If you're gonna play Ys 10, you might as well wait.
No, I did. That was one of the games that I traded in to our local game store. I had the original version, so I trade, and still got a good value actually for the trade-in. But I traded that in because I'm waiting for the Proud Nordics version, which drops later this month. Yeah, and then I played so I played Ys 9, pretty good. If you're a fan of anything Falcom, recommend. But then the first one that I wanted to bring, and this is the one I was texting you about, Andrew. This one I think is a must play for you personally. Even though Matt, I'm sure you would enjoy it too, but I think Andrew would enjoy it the most. The one problem is that it's PC only. It's Steam only. And for what it is, I think it's a little pricey, but if you can get it on sale, it's worth it. And if you're comfortable playing it on PC, I think you should. I don't know if you remember, it's probably one you've seen before, but I don't know if you remember the swashbuckling fencing a la The Legend of Zorro On Guard.
Sounds.
Matt, do you remember that one?
Yeah, it was at like a Summer Games Fest, Indie Fest something 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2023. Really fun. Like really, really good. Surprisingly really good in ways that I wasn't expecting. So its kind of main concept is obviously, yeah, it's a pastiche very much in the kind of pulp vigilante fencer style, again, like Zorro. But Zorro, which, you know, has plenty of comedic elements to it, this really leans into the archetypal kind of silliness of it to the point where it's again, this ridiculous plot back and forth between our hero, Adalia de Volador, and her nemesis, the evil Count Duke.
Oh, hell yeah. Count Duke.
So even in his naming convention, forgetting even just the, you know, it sounds like Count Dooku play on thing, but just the having the two nobility titles is just so funny. And he's just he's a buffoon, but like has these increasingly, again, silly and stupid plans that she's foiling. And it's all, you're fighting against his. Is
it voice acted?
Yes, it is voice acted and really good voice acting, I would say. And it's got these kind of expressive body animations. You'll notice they don't have mouths moving when they talk, but you don't care. But it's like really exaggerated and really just funny animation. But like one of the recurring bits that I enjoyed, again, just speaking of like that kind of archetypal silliness, is she'll uncover something that the Duke is doing, and it's, you know, the plot thickens is a repeated line until the point, like in the final mission, where it's like, how thick can this plot get? And it's just I was surprised how well written it was and how much the jokes landed for me. So some of the best parts would be you've cleared a combat arena, and it's like as you're prancing over the fallen bodies of your enemies, just as you're about to like open the door to move on to the next zone, one of the lackeys will just like have like a little one-liner about him. It's like, oh, I'm just taking my siesta, or something else just kind of stupid and silly, and that obviously don't translate to me retelling them to you, but they were always consistently funny, and just these little bits that they would get in at the end. And her bumbling brother El Vigilante likes to think of himself as this hero, but you know, she's the real deal. And so I was surprised at all those elements. I knew going in that the combat looked fun and interesting. It is obviously a fencing game, but the kind of core conceit is using the environment from each arena. So after like the opening mission, which there are only 4, they do get a little bit progressively longer as you go, but basically after the opening mission, you will quickly get overwhelmed in most major encounters. The sheer number of bodies they put at you, and with increasing level of challenge of the enemy type, like you'll get your normal lackey who very easy to break down their guard bar and they've got 1 hit point. Then you get like a slightly more elite who can't be kicked, and you have to parry them. You have to parry them in order to kind of stun them to break them down. They've got 2 hit points. Then there's like a captain who has a shield that you must wear down so much that it breaks the shield. There's a secondary status on them, like a fatigue thing, and it's basically achieved primarily by kicking them into walls and such, and applying these statuses. And again, you use the environment to do things that surprise people. So it builds your panache and stuff, which are some special moves. But anybody who has like, it'll like, you do a move, like you jump over a table or you jump on a table and do a somersault over them, they will get a little exclamation point above their head. That means you can kick them. So you want to do these things like dodge their attacks, make these moves, get the opportunities to kick them, wear them down. Then they've got multiple hit points. Then you get some elite soldiers who you have, the only way you can use all those similar tactics, but then their guard bar will automatically refill if you do a misinput. They will incorporate moves that have to be either parried or dodged. And if you fuck up, and so say if you dodge a parry, it'll refill. So you have to get their thing perfectly. Then there's like kind of an elite, a super. They call him a duelist. He starts off as like a boss and then becomes a regular enemy. And then the Count Duke is, and a couple other are like full boss fights that have different mechanics. But so then you're throwing things, you're cutting chandeliers, you're throwing a lantern at a cannon to shoot a cannonball at them, cool. kicking barrels and crates into them, kicking people into weapon racks. And so it's all about this kind of little tactical kind of puzzle experience for each encounter to build up your special meter, apply the weaken status, and like it's all about crowd control, basically. It's like if you kick the stack of barrels into the group, most of them will be stunned for 30 seconds, allowing you to kind of just pick one and focus more one-on-one with them, and then kind of repeat and use the different tools that each little encounter space is giving you. And so like, the game itself, again, took me under 4 hours. It was about 3.5, 4 missions. They do offer some sense of replayability in that each chapter has like secrets and challenges that you could do. There is also an arena mode that I didn't test out. I don't know if I would like replaying it. That's just generally not how I feel. And like you don't see the challenges until you've completed the chapter once. So it's just encouraging you to go back and kind of increase the difficulty ceiling for yourself by checking the boxes. And I don't know what rewards you get beyond probably trophies. And so to me, it was just like, it was really fun just to play through it the once. I did it over 2 days, and I just felt like it was something you would enjoy, Andrew. It's got like really surprisingly snappy combat. The parry feels really good. It's just this really good mix of silly and kind of fun tactical combat that can offer some challenge. And some of like the end stage encounters, including some of the boss fights, can be kind of hard. They're not just super breezy. But it was just really, really fun.
How what is the combat like mechanic? Is it kind of timing button input based, just similar to
with dodges and parries, sure, but it's again, it's more about your approach differs based off of the enemy type. So the regular lackeys, you can just whack at them and they will go down really fast. The other ones, you have to focus more on the parries and the dodges and those environmental opportunities to get the opportunities to kind of stun them and break down their guard to the point where it can't be replenished, and then you kind of just really go on the offensive. But yeah, there's timing for, a perfect parry will give you the opportunity for a critical strike, which just does more either guard or guard damage is the point, because nobody has a health bar. Except for you. Nobody has a health bar. They just have hit points. So it's all about it's the combat
fencing works.
It breaks their guard, and then the next strike that connects without them having a guard reduces the hit point. And it's either a guy has 1 hit point, so he's just done, or you've got to do it a couple times.
They call it a saber?
No, I don't think it is a saber.
What do they call your sword?
I mean, it's not I don't think it's an epee either.
Yeah.
They just call it your sword.
I'm certainly intrigued. I mean, like, the fact that the voice acting is good and the comedy just you've shared in general for a quick play.
It lands. It all landed, and I like kind of how short it was. It was just enough challenge to not be I'm just breezing through it, but it was just a fun experience, and it didn't overstay its welcome by any means. Nothing got boring. Because you can't say that there's like a huge enemy variety, but they keep kind of dishing them out as time goes on, that your tactics have to keep evolving as the missions go, and it's fun. My one piece of advice that is probably going to be one of your biggest barriers, is I don't know that you have one of these, is that I didn't love every aspect of its control scheme. I didn't dig far enough. I don't know if you can rebind in the game menu, but I relied on having a PC controller that has programmable back buttons, because
Which one is that? Which do you have?
I have the 8-bit Do Ultimate, which you can get for relatively cheap.
The Switch 2 Pro controller, can I use it that way?
Yeah, they work on Steam.
That's what I thought,
work on
right?
Steam. I don't know how. It may vary by game.
The Switch 1 Pro controller was just natively recognized by Steam.
No, the controller works. I'm talking about, I don't know how you would program the back buttons.
Yeah.
There's a Steam interface that allows you to.
That's what I was trying to find. That's what I was trying to do with this game, was rather than having to, basically I had to tab out of the game, because once I had to know what buttons I wanted. The 8-bit Do, you have to program it through its own little software. So I had to tab out of the game, open that up, change the inputs. So the first time I had to do it was kind of a pain. But like the problem for me instinctively was parry. So you only have like one attack button, and that's, X, square, whatever. But the parry button is I or triangle. And so that just fucked with my head so much. I always put dodge on my right side back button, but I put parry on my left side there, so I could keep that all separate. And it's usually because usually L1 is my main parry, but L1 was like how you trigger your special abilities, and yeah, I didn't love the control scheme. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. There aren't that many button interactions that required, they could have swapped them around. It was a choice that they made to just be kind of weird. So it was so much more approachable to me by being able to program back buttons. But I was going in to see if can I just open the Steam overlay and remap my buttons in Steam, and it wasn't immediately obvious. It was just I could have maybe dug into if there were community controller layouts, which I didn't feel like doing. So I just did what I know would work with the 8-bit Do itself. But yeah, it was really fun.
What brought you to this game?
It had been on my radar since we saw it at that whichever showcase it was 2 years ago that Matt mentioned, and it's been in my library. I got it on sale. It reviewed well. Most of those comments were just it's pretty short. So I got it on sale. I think it's like a $20 or $30 base game, which is a little expensive for
it's $20
for that short. But if you can wishlist it and get it for 10 or under, absolutely worth it. It was very fun. And so I got it on sale. I had it in my backlog. In my backlog, and it was just, I knew it was short, so I was only going to play it when I was just kind of in my little in-between periods. And I just decided now was the time, and I played it, and I really enjoyed it and highly recommend. It's been in my library for a while.
$20, I mean, I don't mind. That's not a bad price even at.
But it'll go on sale. It will go on sale, and it'll be even more appropriate. All right, that's the first one for me. Andrew, you said you got a couple, so what's your first one?
Yeah, I got 2.5, and one of them involves yourself. The first is a quick update. I've talked about this game. Ben's talked about this game, and that's just Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Can you see? I redid a little bit of my my display behind me. I've got my collector's bit of the lighting is not ideal. It's got the box, which that's the bit you can really kind of see. Let me grab this. I want to show it. See if it gets picked up on my microphone. So the little statue that comes with it is the monolith. Is the monolith here, but it's also, I don't know, can you guys hear it?
I barely, but that's sweet.
And I'm not surprised.
There we go. A little bit.
But it's a music box.
That's a very fitting.
And what I loved what they did is I'd never buy a collector's edition of a game before I play it, because I'm not going to spend that much money for a game that I don't know that I love and that I would want to have all this stuff for. So, you know, I started playing it. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I love it. Like, I would even buy a second copy to get the things I saw. I saw someone like post about this. I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. It's amazing. I love it. How can I get this? And it was all sold out. You know, collector's editions sell out really fast. They always do. What Sandfall did is like something is a practice I love. What they did is after the fact, they're like, we didn't expect for this to blow up. We didn't have a crazy high stock. We know many of you have bought the game already. We're going to offer on our store a version of the collector's edition that's everything that's in the collector's edition except for the game itself at a slightly reduced price, you know, at a basically a prorated price. So it's not like I have an extra copy of the game now. I have my original copy as the steel book, the cool little box, the statue, a very nice art book right there, which I'm getting a special stand so that I can have it open and can show the art. And that got delivered.
That should be a more common practice, I think, because I feel similarly. Like, I don't want to spend the money on these deluxe editions when they're actually available. And then it's like, okay, so I have to buy the game again if I want any of that, or find it on like eBay for marked up
ridiculous
pricing.
Amount. But Matt Hakari would disapprove of me. I don't have the gambler's spirit to be like, yes, I'm putting my money down now. I know this game is going to be peak. I know I'm going to love it.
That's what I
don't have. Yeah, I don't have that in me. I don't have that bit in me.
Definitely not. But yeah. Beat that, wrap that up narratively. It's a beautiful game, great exploration of grief and how that can manifest, and just couldn't say enough positive things. We've talked about it a lot though.
Do you
I'm not going to belabor the point.
Do you stand by your vote for it being last year's GOTY?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Excellent. No, I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you enjoyed it so much.
The one thing I will say is it is criminal. We talked about this briefly already. Andy Serkis not even getting nominated is a crime. He should have won that award. Like, he is, in my opinion, the best of the game as far as just how important the voice acting is to the experience. I don't know. Really kind of bummed he didn't even get a nomination, because I think he should have won that category over what was her name?
We will not accept any Jennifer English slander on in this chat.
No slander. Jennifer English is great. He just brought it a little bit more, in my opinion.
I mean, her role is too central, and the growth and the arc that she takes over, I think, is the most impressive in that where her character moves and how she brings that in the performance, I think, is what is worth celebrating. But I mean, Andy Serkis is just so good.
Yeah. The man is goated. He is an all-time voice actor, effectively.
And also
in physical,
historically underappreciated, and snubbed. Should have gotten Oscar nominations for Gollum.
Absolutely.
Should have gotten him for Caesar.
Oh, he should have gotten him for Grandmaster Snoke, or whatever the fuck his name was, from everybody's favorite Star Wars trilogies.
How about that? Fuck.
But again, he was actually good. He was actually good in The Last Jedi.
Yeah. So that was one game. Then the next one, which again, this is going to be kind of a shorter commentary, but we did get a little action in the Lego party.
That's right, we did.
And I was impressed. There was some things that I miss from Mario Party, but I do think I like the game board better. I like how the game board works a little bit better than it does in Mario Party. Just comparing the two, and how the game itself kind of plays out. I think it does work a little bit better. It's a little more streamlined. It's a little more friendly to the user. The one dislike, which we talked about in the moment, was there is no random stars awarded at the end for being the best minigamer or the most maligned character.
So your mileage may vary on that change. I know some people will really, really appreciate that, but to me, I enjoy the chaos that brings to the experience. However, I only enjoy it when I'm getting the free stars. When the free stars are being doled out to my enemies, yeah, it's bad, and I want it to go.
I'm all about the random. I want to be surprised. I want to see that slutty little lizard win, getting some extra points at the end. It's always
Yeah, game gets docked a few points because no Birdo.
no Birdo.
I would be interested
fun.
to play some of the other boards too. We only played the one.
Yeah, definitely. And then the last one, which I think is the one I'm most excited to talk about today, because I am very early in this game, so you two can give me some sage wisdom here, is I started playing Astral Chain. And
yes, baby.
it is...
Go.
It's
Do you
great.
enjoy being an anime
It's cinema.
cop?
It is cinema. Truly, like, it is anime cop, the game. It's very, very fun.
I don't remember
How's
the
it-
mascot's
how's it
name,
running?
but the dog costume.
All I remember is that the traffic cop lady who wears the costume has enormous breastises.
He does.
They breathe at you. The
Lappy
jiggle
is the name.
Lappy, that's right, yeah. But the
Lappy.
jiggle physics there are insane. How's it running on the Switch 2?
Great. No issues.
I mean, I honestly thought it ran fine on Switch 1.
For what it was, for how intensive and demanding of a combat system it was, for how well it ran, absolutely. It's more like I hadn't heard anything about particular updates or anything. It's just kind of naturally just running a little bit more stable.
I would expect that it would at the very least just have a slightly more stable frame rate.
Yeah,
I wouldn't expect it to be boosted, but I would expect it to maintain better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did look to see if there was any improvements on its performance on the 2, and yeah, everything was just it just holds the frame rate a little bit better. Load times are a little quicker. Those were the biggest things, which is just
It's got some good ambient music. I never minded the load times because I was jamming.
It does. It has great music, visually very interesting.
What color scheme have you given your I don't remember what they call them. Your creature.
It's like a light green and blue.
Even though I am not a Miami Dolphins fan, mine were Miami Dolphins color coded, so a teal, orange, and white.
I had each of the different types different colored, so I could more just helped me even further cement the identity of each one. I feel like the sword one I probably did Evangelion colors. I think I did purple and green.
Cool. And yeah, I only have the very first.
Yeah. You have to unlock all the other ones.
I guess they're called neuron. Are they called neurons? Is that what the legions? Yeah, legions. That's
legions,
it. Legions.
Yeah.
I only have the one legion so far.
I summoned my legion. I thought of the movie Legion.
I only have the one legion so far, but there's a lot to like. The combat is
super
really unique. Matt, you've played Bayonetta, right?
I've played one.
Have you?
You
did play one. Okay. You can feel
Platinum.
the similarities.
They're both
in the combat.
I'm the one on record saying Astral Chain was the last good Platinum game that they released.
In my little note to him when I sent him this copy for Christmas it was back when Platinum was still good.
Yeah, but it's really great. I'm very much excited to dig in. I bought a Switch 2 Pro controller for this game, which was the right decision. It absolutely is.
Have you done back buttons?
Yeah.
So obviously we both played it before the Switch 2, so the controller didn't have back buttons. But
Yeah, so I got change weapon on 1 because that's the D-pad. So left side is just switching between the melee, the gun, and then the berserk melee, whatever it's called, gladiator mode or something. I don't remember. But I have that on the left side, and then on the right side I have...
Yeah.
Are you playing as boy or girl?
I'm playing as girl.
Let's go.
How could you not? Had to. It felt like a no-brainer. Why would I play boy? Boy is so boring. Boy is so boring. Every game is boy. I'm at the point where just mixing it up in general. Maybe a little bit of the eye candy too, but who knows? It's a good game though. I just really enjoying it.
I just remember that the gameplay loop of what you did level to level never seemed to get boring. Going around doing a little bit investigating.
I like the detective stuff. I like the detective stuff. It's nothing crazy, but it's cool. I like how
you're rewarded for doing more of it.
Well, and also that the level of the exploration incorporates the Legion stuff, right? You know, switching a Legion to do, like, when you get the dog to, like, track people and things like that.
You get the big guy to move dumpsters.
Yeah, or, you know, the ranged one to shoot far targets and open paths that way. Like, it was just cool implementation of all its mechanics together with the world was cool, and it's a cool post-apocalyptic setting. I like I like just exploring the world itself, and yeah, it was just one of the most unique combat systems that, like, yeah, you kind of have to retrain your brain how to play an action game.
Yeah, the combat system is really unique, but it feels really rewarding to pull off the combos with your Legion, and like the animations are sick. It looks badass.
Getting enemies wrapped in the chain, or
like
Yes.
that's so satisfying, like the haptics mixed with the sound cues of when you wrap it and the chain connects and they
Yes.
get stunned momentarily. Awesome.
Yeah, it's sweet.
it stands as one of the games that I just like every time a partner direct shows up. I'm just like, are they going to do it? Are we going to get Peak 2?
Is that like something they are making? Is there anything that's
There's
indicated
there's
that,
never
or
been
that's
any
just hopes and
indication,
dreams?
like,
That's
not
just
ever gonna
that's just pure
happen.
hopium. That's pure
Yeah.
hopium
Okay.
on his part.
Like at
I
this
mean,
point, the way
I don't
Platinum
blame you.
has devolved, I wouldn't expect much.
Well, you know, maybe with
Because the Astral Chain director left.
yes, Ninja Gaiden 4 was generally well received, but didn't you post something recently, Matt, that sales weren't great?
Yeah, below expectation.
That's what happens when it's published by Xbox.
I mean, it's
Players
also
don't buy games.
well, it's more of also Ninja Gaiden in general, while maybe carrying more name recognition amongst people, has never been a. It's similar to Metroid, where people know it, but it doesn't sell nearly as well as you would expect.
Yeah, and particularly because it comes from an era where difficult games was truly a niche, right? So its dedicated fan base starts smaller. Hasn't reached the name recognition of, like, you know, FromSoft. Hasn't really broken containment like FromSoft has.
I think they were hoping Ninja Gaiden 4 would be there.
I had contemplated it, but
I got it on
eventually
sale.
I went.
It was on sale for like
something
$30
else.
at Best Buy.
Damn, already?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a year almost.
Not
Yeah,
quite.
I guess that's true.
Not quite.
I think it
Was
was like
last,
September
like-
of last year, but
But I mean, again, Xbox is trying to get at whatever revenue they can, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, I will probably be on that hopium train with you, Matt, because it is
It's a game-
it
it's
is
a game
definitely
that I
one of those
have-
cinema games.
I have a list of games that I need to go back to like complete in the way that I intend to complete,
Yep.
and that's on my list.
To soothe the sickness, folks. That's
Yeah.
what he's talking about.
Well, you want to talk about sickness? One of those games is Fire Emblem Three Houses, because I'm going to get all the.
My God, ugh, that's insane. That's insane. That's so much
Yeah,
Fire
but
Emblem.
think about it
And I
this
love
way.
Fire Emblem, but that's
I'm
so
not-
much.
I'm setting a limit where I'm not going all romance, because boy, how fun would that be?
That's impossible. That'd be the only game you play forever.
Yeah,
You can romance every single character,
yeah,
but only one
What's-
per playthrough. That's insane.
yeah.
I'm curious, do you remember what difficulty you played on? Because it almost starts you in like the kind of easy mode, and I put it on the 1-up. I put it to like standard. Is that where you
I think
both
I
played? Do you
started in
remember?
standard, and then I think I bumped it up.
I tend to only play most things with difficulty settings. I tend to play on standard.
Same. Yeah, I figured. I found it weird because it literally tells you you're on like it starts off you play in casual for the first level, and then it gives you the option
I think the idea
to
is
make it standard.
to set it up so that people don't potentially bounce off immediately.
Yeah.
It's a big part is probably also this is a Nintendo exclusive and their player base are babies. So let's make sure that, again, we don't scare them too much.
But
That was one of the
I'm
big
really
Switch
excited.
exclusives when it came out. That was a big. I remember that direct when that first trailer popped.
It's crazy that this was a Switch game. Like,
And it
there's a
never left.
lot happening.
It belongs there.
There's a lot happening.
I don't know how it didn't melt the Switch, to be real.
Yeah.
Because
The fact that
early
this was
on,
playable.
Switch developers cared about optimization. They had to.
But it's great. I'm excited to see where the story goes.
It's going to be a completely different story when the Oblivion remaster comes out on Switch 2.
What if it runs really well on Switch 2 and still runs like ass on PS?
That would be hilarious, and I would buy it on Switch 2 if it ran well on Switch 2.
I've wanted
be pretty on brand.
to try to play it, but like if it's so bad on
The funny part about that showcase
PS5.
was Fallout 4 Anniversary looked like doo-doo, but Indiana
it's
Jones looked great.
it's looked like doo-doo everywhere. Like the Anniversary Edition on all other platforms was busted and then broke everything that wasn't busted. Like that came out sometime. Was that last year as well?
Yeah, I think so.
But, like,
Yeah.
it was itself was busted, and then all the mods that people had made in the past to fix its previous bustedness all were then broken themselves. So, but you can pay for mods. You can pay for mods now.
I was just doing the comparison because like Indiana Jones like visually looked like fine on the Switch 2, and it's just like Fallout 4 is a game that came out so long ago and they can't.
Yeah, it's Indiana Jones is not a game that I would pick to play on a handheld platform, so that
No.
wouldn't. But if that's your only way to play it, highly recommend. And
Which is
it looks
something that
good.
a lot of people tend to also forget during these partner showcases. We're like, but these are all ports. It's like, yes, but they're targeting people who don't have.
Yeah, it's just it still makes for a disappointing watch for the larger audience.
I was only disappointed because no Kingdom Hearts.
I was pleased enough to see the sequel to the other Falcom property, the Kyoto Xanadu.
Yep.
Looks weird though, the fact that they're mixing like 2D side scrolling with 3D, which was not a thing in Tokyo Xanadu, which I haven't played yet. I did buy it though because I knew this was incoming, so I did buy a copy on eBay because I've become a Falcom head, as I said at the beginning of the show. I really enjoy Trails. Ys is a step down for me from Trails, but I still liked Trails a lot.
Have you played Ys versus Trails?
No, because isn't that a fighting game?
Yeah, but you have to.
No, I'm not. But it's like a fighting game, almost more like Soul Calibur. I'm right. It's like a little
It's
bit
the only
more
type of
kind
fighting game that anyone should ever play. 'Cause it's
yeah,
peak.
character action, less than actual kind of fighting game, which not for me. I'm glad you're liking it. I'm glad you're liking it.
Yeah, I really am. And before we go to Matt, I do want to ask, do you have any like general tips or tricks for how
It's been so
I
long.
go through my playthrough?
It's
fair enough.
It's been years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Are you having trouble with something, or
No, I'm still too. I'm literally like starting.
I guess the only tip I could possibly come up with is like when they introduce new Legion mechanics, like pay attention to them and use them. Like they're introducing them for a reason.
yeah, don't get stuck into just using one. They all have really good uses, and if memory serves, like actively switching them in combat will give you good bonuses, or it's just you're incentivized to switch them up.
I was gonna say, so I assume you go unlock the legions I've lost.
Yeah.
I've just been lost, and then you can rotate through them in combat
They
as you
become your
unlock them
stands.
effectively.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the dog one. The dog one's so cool.
Dog one's fun. I kind of liked the ranged one the best. It's not entirely true. I like them all. I like the the first one you get, the dual sword one. I like his spinny move. That one's super fun. But then you get big sword.
Any game that has a spin to win.
Then you got big sword guy, big fisticuffs, always fun.
Is it sword? I thought it was a big axe, like a great axe.
I think it's a big sword, but you might be right. Pretty sure it's a big.
But, like,
it's a big
that's-
sword.
That's one of those games never got DLC, so you play it and that's it. It's contained.
We love it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where the narrative goes. It's
There's a
There's
character in the bathroom,
Sword
right,
Legion,
that you have
Arrow Legion.
that's always pooping.
Yeah, you have to do you have to give him toilet paper or something?
Yeah, that you find in the levels.
Okay, so you are correct in that it's named Axe Legion, but it's just a big fucking sword. It's a Buster Sword. It's a Buster Sword. Axe Legion, Beast Legion, Arm Legion, Arrow Legion, and Sword. Well, I'm glad you're playing it. I'm glad you're getting use out of it. Yeah, Yeah, Matt, what have you been playing?
I've been playing what I was playing before, and I should actually probably be done with it come this time next month. I've just been working through Demon Souls. I'm on New Game Plus 4 right now. I should actually have New Game Plus 4 wrapped this weekend. It doesn't take very long at this point.
What criteria are you still working on? Is it the ones that you have
So I've got all the trophies outside of.
Don't take this the wrong way. The arbitrary ones, or yeah, the trophy, the ones
I have,
that you've set for yourself.
Outside of co-op, helping someone beat a boss.
Are you gonna post to Reddit to try to
Probably.
get help with
probably
that?
gonna, at the end of this new game cycle, put a quick post so that I can pick or they can pick any boss, and I can just drop a marker down. But yeah, I got all the magic spells last cycle. I did all the rings the cycle before. I've got 11 of the 26 ceramic coins. I'll have 18 at the end of this cycle. Next cycle, I'll be able to get the penetrator armor set, because I'll get 7 more for being in pure white, and then I'll just kill myself in human form 7 times in World 1 to turn it pure black to get 1 extra coin there, and then kill a primeval demon to bring it back to neutral.
And that's the only thing that the coins do, right?
Yep, you need 26 of them. You can get 13 technically per playthrough. 7 in pure white world, 6 in pure black. I don't have enough stone of ephemeral eyes to be able to manipulate my world tendency, because I already did that in a previous playthrough, getting pure white and pure black for all of them to do all of their tendency events. So I've decided that I'm just going to get everything to pure white, run it through multiple times because it carries over to each new game cycle, get the 7 that I can get in pure white, and then at the end just pick up the miscellaneous 1 extra that I need.
What was the deal about why they added this to the remake?
Just because the armor set wasn't available in the first game, and a lot of people wanted that armor because it's drippy as fuck.
You said it's the penetrator?
Yeah.
Who has one of the most metal entrances of any boss ever.
I mean, you're in for peak when the boss is the one entering through the fog.
Yeah. It's like you think you're gonna fight like the big fat bureaucrat guy with the top hat.
That official.
And yeah, the official, you think you're gonna fight him, he's sneering at you, maybe
you've been chasing him throughout the level.
Yeah, he's just kind of sneering at you, whatever, and then sword just stabs through him. So sick. Okay, it is pretty drippy. I do like the unicorn headpiece.
Yes. No, it's absolutely going to be how my character ends once I've, got my trophy and I get that armor. I'm going to stand him in the Nexus in the penetrator armor and leave him waiting in case Andrew ever wants a co-op partner.
I was just thinking that might be. I have Astral Chain on the list. It's got to be Returnal for April, but
because that's what I'll be moving to after this.
It might be. It's coming. It's coming.
It's gonna be very funny to summon me in for co-op with you, because my character is so comically over-leveled for new game at this point.
Yeah, you're gonna just one-shot the boss.
You're gonna summon him in, and he's still gonna be fat rolling though.
Nope, I've got enough endurance that I can medium roll with penetrator armor.
Okay, you were saying that you were gonna have to fat roll with it.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of how far up I've gone in level and having all spells is I now have the Soul Thirst spell, which increases the amount of souls you gain and stacks with the Ring of Avarice.
So you said you're on New Game Plus 4, right?
Yep, and I'm halfway through it.
Take me through what your New Game Plus runs look like in Demon Souls, because it's such a different gameplay style. Demon Souls itself is different.
Are you running past a lot of people? So what? No, I tend to not run past a lot of people, mostly because at this point in new game, most level enemies can still fuck you up pretty decently.
Really?
Like 1-1 they can't. I could run by pretty much everything in 1-1 if I wanted to. But I do that mostly I kill everything in 1-1 specifically because you can't level up once you beat False King Allant until you finish 1-1. And at that point, I'm carrying like 350,000 souls, which I don't want to lose because that's 2 levels at this point. But I beat 1-1.
How close are you to max level?
Not anywhere near, because I think you can.
Oh, really?
I think you can 99 all stats. Maybe it's 50 in Demon Souls. I'd have to look.
You probably hit soft caps at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure you're at.
Yeah,
soft
I don't have a damage stat below 30, and I don't have my health is at 50. My FP is at 40. My endurance is at 50.
But so my main question is you talk about how in its most cases new game pluses are shorter because you know where you're in games that require exploration, you know where you're going, so that cuts out a huge amount of time. But because Demon Souls is essentially linear in the sense that yeah, there are places to go to explore to find little things, but it's you know where you're going. You're going in the one direction. You're going to the end of the stage to fight the boss. So what about it? How is it sped up for you? How are you able to accomplish each one faster?
There are some levels, for example, 4-1 with the Adjudicator. You can do the Adjudicator skip and skip the entire level, go straight to him by rolling off that edge up on the top of the ramparts. So that's one way to reduce that level down. So World 5.2 in particular, Swamp of Sorrow, don't open the shortcut for that one, because it's a waste of time for me to run back and open that, because I know if I just run through, get to the boss, I'm going to one-shot him with Firestorm.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about needlessly running back and opening shortcuts just to not use them ever.
Might be one of my favorite swamp levels in a From game.
It is just all swamp.
But it's more interesting to me for some reason. It's not as scary, and scary is not even the right word. It's not as
easy to navigate if you actually
It's not as off-putting as Blighttown, and maybe it just has to do with the verticality of Blighttown, where it's where you can just get so easily knocked off a ledge, and that's just a bad time.
Yeah, but 5.2 in particular, I know I go down, kill this one enemy, roll off the edge, beeline through the swamp to the first fog gate, roll off once I get past the first fence, back into the swamp, run straight to the torch, climb up there, and then it's just two zigzags and I'm at the boss. World 2-1 is actually probably the longest part of any of these levels, because that's the one that has the most convoluted, okay, I've got to go up here, I've got to turn the water wheel, that's going to cool down the magma so I can run across over here, that then lets me run past this official to get down to Armored Spider, and then boy, hope you don't get, at this point, two-shot by fireballs. But I always do World 2 as my first full world that I complete, because once you get past Armored Spider, Flame Lurker is super fast to get to. You go to the right, you drop down the pit, you're right there. And then Dragon God is once you know the gimmick.
Not a real boss.
Yeah, once you know the gimmick, it's simple.
Cool, but not a real boss.
Yeah.
So you have a weapon that you get specifically?
No,
that's a Storm Ruler.
It's a stealth fight where you have to break some obstacles and then hide behind columns so that he doesn't see you. Because if he sees you, you're dead.
You make your way to these two
ballista,
big ballista, yeah, and you just he's dead.
The two ballista knock him down to 10% health, and then you have to go whack him on the chin a couple times and not get breathed on, because if he breathes on you, you die.
Oh, the boss itself is really cool. He looks really cool, but so much of Demon Souls, so much of the boss fights are gimmicks.
Yeah.
It is pretty much every boss fight is essentially a gimmick, with the exception of Flame Lurker.
Flame Lurker is a regular boss. Man-Eaters is a regular boss, but it's their first duo boss gimmick.
It's a gank boss.
Yep. Old Monk is a gimmick in the sense that if you play online, it's a chance for it to be a player.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. But if you play offline, it's just a dude who rocks claws and casts Soul Ray.
Yeah,
which
they're all.
Yeah, and I doubt you're getting any players really at this point.
You'd be surprised, because a lot of people try to use that one to get summoned in. And what'll happen is you'll put a sign down for someone to summon you, and if it's down long enough, you might just end up being the boss.
I know, I played against a real person.
Okay.
I have been the boss several times, and it's really fun because you'll be sitting in the arena waiting for them to show up, and then you'll watch them die to the Red Phantom Mind Flayer on the staircase.
Oh, that's great.
Which is probably the enemy that has killed me the most in New Game, mostly because everything he does one-shots me.
I mean, and it's like narrow. It's the space is
Yeah.
narrow, right? Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So hopefully you're able to
Yeah,
find.
I think I'll be rolling through this cycle this weekend. And then
That's going to be going on misconnections to find a co-op partner.
But then after this run, I don't need to do a full run anymore because most of the coins can be gotten on the first world of each level, which makes it simpler.
Yeah, so I had two more, and I'll try to get a little bit maybe I'll do them slightly out of order because I want to talk about Nioh 3. I just started it last night. I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to get my copy. For some reason Best Buy has just been really unreliable lately, but I was able to get a copy from Walmart yesterday. I could have still so I wanted to be able to play and have something to talk about, be able to talk about it for today's recording. If I wasn't able to get my copy, I could have downloaded the demo and done that because progress carries over.
Progress carries over from the demo.
And it's like a really extensive demo. It's like the whole first
I think people have said they put like 30 hours into the demo.
Yeah, it's the whole
Whoa.
It's the whole first map, which is just a lot. And so I was like texting Matt a little bit about it last night, and I'm like, I'm still not really far into it. I can actually check my playtime. The playtime is slightly inflated just because I spend a good 40 minutes to an hour. Yeah, I'm at like 5 hours, a little over 5 hours. But like a good 40 minutes to an hour was just me creating my muscle mommy character.
Classic.
And so like I'm still wrapping my head around it. I haven't unlocked a certain number of mechanics. Like I haven't been able to dive super far into like the martial arts, which are like kind of like basically like your weapon skills, but it's because you have to unlock them you get a collectible that unlocks a skill point, and you get them for both ninja and samurai. And there are main trees that are basic things like a deflect and an evade for one and the other, and then you've got more skill trees for weapons that's for the specific weapons that then unlock specific martial arts skills for each one. So I just focused on unlocking the basic stuff, like unlocking the stances for samurai style. And I'm starting to really kind of experiment more with stances and stance switching. And I have unlocked an Odachi ability that lets me stance switch.
Odachi.
I'll talk about weapons in a second, but like I just unlocked an ability that lets me, the first one, because there's a bunch, because you can use different combos to stance switch. But with Samurai, I'm still just kind of getting used to key pulsing as an idea. The biggest thing that keeps fucking me up, and I think it actually is because of how I've had my back buttons preset for Ys 9 and on guard. I had my deflect button on my back left trigger, but for this I have my key pulse on back left trigger, and because R1 you use for a lot of things. Used for a lot of stuff, but I've got my key pulse on my back trigger, and obviously dodge on my other one. But so now that I have deflect unlocked, I'll be getting into these combos where I should be able to deflect them, and instead of hitting L1, which I should be able to do easily, I just keep hitting the key pulse. Basically, I keep hitting that button and fucking up, so I'm just key pulsing for no reason. And just eating a shit ton of damage. But then once I can remember to stop doing that, I was able to clear a couple bosses pretty easily when doing it correctly. So again, not very far, but I can already tell that it's going to be fucking gas. That there's a lot there. It's a little intimidating. Like
it's one of those. It's funny because I don't not necessarily feel bad for them, but like Code Vein 2 releasing right before this is just such like horrible timing for them.
I mean, they also just didn't make as good a game. So
no, well, that's what I'm saying is like a mediocre Souls-like could be better received if there wasn't a good Souls-like right around the corner for people to.
Yeah, I guess although it's not like people are that starved for good Souls-likes, but people are even like the Code Vein heads. have been like, yeah, this game is basically everything that I had hoped it wouldn't be from the first one. So that I'm happy that I've skipped on that one and have played this instead. And so obviously one of the things that had piqued my interest on seeing previews from people playing the demo so extensively is the point that you mentioned to me, Matt, yesterday, is that a lot of people have said that, this feels like Nioh's Elden Ring moment. That it's both in terms of its design, its impact, and just the availability for expression, its accessibility, all of that. And I can see that. And a lot of it is in its world design. I think I like these open zones better than I would mission structures. Because I like level design, say like in Dark Souls versus Demon Souls. Sure, the remake of Demon Souls feels a little bit more polished than Dark Souls 1 does to play today, but I don't really like even though it's not the exact same, we can call them mission based, right?
I mean, that's basically what it is.
Exactly. So I don't love that style, but then there's just some really awesome quality of life stuff that they've done here. So you have this large map, and there's going to be several of them in Nioh 3, and each map then is broken into smaller little zones that you can freely cross between. But then each zone has an exploration level, and you increase it just by doing stuff, just by going around and doing some things, doing a couple quests, finding some stuff. And it feels overwhelming at first when you are just dropped in. You're like, oh my god, I don't know which direction to go. It's still, this first level still feels a little claustrophobic in the sense that it's not wide open like Limgrave is. You can't see as far in the geography. So I'm just like, oh man, there's these branching paths. I don't know where to go. But you just kind of pick a direction and you go, and you will explore some things. And as you increase that exploration level, the map starts showing you more stuff. Say it's like you get to 2 and it starts showing you kind of major points of interest, and then when you get to 4, the final level 4, each one can be raised to level 4, and by that point you've done most everything. But it then populates it with all the collectibles that you've missed. So it just makes it super easy to clean things up. And you feel like you have accomplished a lot. Like it makes you feel more confident that you have done what you needed to do. And
I assume it still follows the basic Nioh function of you're going to be finding lots of weapons and armor. You're going to be...
That's the one problem I have, is that there's too much fucking gear. Every bit of advice that I've read about it is like, basically just use the auto equip function on your first game. It's like only if you get into New Game Plus should you actually start micromanaging your gear.
Yeah, worrying about set bonuses
set bonuses and like
that
you find
doesn't
a set
exist in Nioh 1 in the auto equip, but like in Nioh 1 they tell you basically like whatever has higher number, like equip higher number, or like whatever is a higher level, until you get to a point where like I was at a point where I had unlocked the entire Red Demon armor. And it's like if you equip the entire Red Demon armor and then use the spear that is associated with it, you get a hidden additional bonus. Sure. And like that makes it worthwhile to fully max it. And then that's where you should start leveling the gear individually rather than
because then what you can do, I haven't gotten to this point yet because you've got to like unlock your home base. You can then start breaking down gear that you have. And you can craft gear that's going to be stronger, or then you find like a set that you really like and is got good bonuses and all this, and you can increase it to be on par with your
matching
level.
In Nioh.
Yes. From what I haven't been introduced to the mechanic, but what I was looking at was basically someone was like, you can pretty much ignore the soul matching stuff on your first playthrough.
Yeah, because you're going to be constantly finding, and like it's also good in your first playthrough to like try out different weapons and like get a feel for like what fits with you. Like I used the Kusarigama, I used a dual katana, I used Odachi, I used Tonfa, and then I got to the spear and I really liked the way the spear ended up playing. just because the extra range and the speed of the attacks really meshed. And that's why I started speccing into the red demon armor, was I had the flame spear already. And
so what I really like, it's another quality of life thing, and you'll tell me if this is different in 3 from the earlier ones. Weapon scaling is really interesting. Each weapon type, and this goes for whether it's ninja or samurai, which I know is different in 3 because they're now separate. That's certain weapon types are keyed to one or the other. You can't equip Kusarigama on samurai, and you can't equip Odachi on ninja. They are separate. But you're encouraged to be swapping through them. To be changing between samurai and ninja a lot. So each weapon, regardless of if it's a samurai or a ninja weapon, has 3 stats that it'll scale with. But there are not like letter scaling, so that it's like this scales highest with strength or with magic. Instead, what it will do is it will pick whichever of yours is the highest will become your main stat scale. So what you want to do, what you want to do is find a samurai weapon and a ninja weapon that have at least one crossover, so that you are basically dumping into that main stat to increase your DPS for both. It then goes like, it takes your main stat, whichever one is highest is going to be your main scale. The next one increases scaling a little bit, and then the other one is just a tiny bit. But so it allows for more flexibility in your mixing and matching. So what I'm rocking right now, or what I've been Odachi from the start on samurai, and I'm liking it a lot. And I think I'm going to stick with Odachi until I unlock the Switch Glaive. I've seen some people play that. It looks fucking sick. It's kind of like a sickle thing, but based on your stances, it'll like either be open or closed or multiple barbs. It looks fucking sick, and it's a little bit faster. That one looks really cool. And then I started with Kusarigama because, again, that one's just the coolest. And it was their shared scaling was magic, actually. But then recently I have switched off of, just at the end of my play session last night, and so I haven't experimented a whole lot with it. I switched off of Kusarigama to dual hatchets for ninja because their shared stat is stamina. So by boosting my stamina, it has increased my equip load. So it's because it's basically, I don't love the magic so far of what I could do. I have quite a few demon soul cores that like I could equip, but it's basically I can't do a whole lot with them because I haven't. There's like you have to do a certain other thing to unlock certain other abilities, and I just I haven't so far loved the mechanics of the magic that I have unlocked. So I'm like, okay, this is just letting me equip better gear.
Have progressively nerfed the capability of magic, because magic in Nioh 1, it was
I don't know that that's true, though. I don't know that that's true. I think once you can get to it, I think magic is pretty cool and is viable from what I've seen. I just don't think I've seen enough of it. It was like, basically, it's like, for what I have right now, magic isn't doing enough for me. It was never my main... That wasn't my main driver.
One of the things from
was
Nioh,
like I can benefit from it because it was my main stat.
One of the things from Nioh 1 that makes magic so strong is that you can reapply debuffs before the debuff is worn off. So one of the things that you do a lot is you cast slow on an enemy to slow them down, and then before it's worn off again, while you have all that extra time, you can just keep applying slow to them and just keep them stuck in that.
So the majority of the things that I could equip were putting them in the, I think is the Yang slot. And so they're more like replenishable consumables.
Yep.
To do buffs, and I had one
the
debuff.
Early magic that you get in Nioh 1 would be stuff that would basically like add an element to your weapon. Fire, water, earth.
For me, it's basically like I had like, you can increase money you gain. You can increase attack and damage for a short period of time. And I've got one debuff that's like reduces their ability to restore ki. But my problem with is that it animation locks you. And I found it really hard to pull off. So I was like, you know what? These kind of suck. I'm not really using them. Let's see what else I can match up. And hatchets were one of the more highly recommended of the weapons anyways. And I was like seeing, okay, stamina is their cross. So I can get a better benefit from that being my main stat by just being like the extra
It's like
benefit rather than being able
have
to
better
use more.
equip so that you can
Yeah,
use
it's like
different
exactly,
armor.
exactly. I can have better armor now versus I was just getting magic that I really couldn't use or didn't feel good to use. There is something that once I unlock the base, you can also change scaling. You can change the scaling of a weapon. So I may eventually go back to Kusurigama to once I can change its scaling to be more in line with the Odachi. But you can also freely respec at any time. There's no cost to respecking, whether it's skills or attribute points. So it's just, again, they have done a lot to make things accessible in that way. There's a lot of quality of life things here that are
where
really
the Metacritic ended, but I know when I was looking at
pretty
it on,
good.
Well, I know when I looked at
Like
it on
high
launch,
80s,
it was
I think.
a hair below where Nioh 1 landed, because Nioh 1 ended at an 88, but it was above Nioh 2, which I think ended at an 85.
I don't think it's that high. It's currently, I think, at an 85. Based off of 80 reviews, though, that's pretty damn good. Nope, 86. 86. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good.
It's it's going to be dependent on, other releases this year and where they fall, but like that does fall into the possibility of a Game of the Year nomination style game.
I think it's possible.
It, again, depends on, what other things release and their ratings. Not that this is what that episode is about, but my sleeper Game of the Year is Fire Emblem.
That's never going to happen.
But boy,
Fire Emblem
would I love it if Fire
never
Emblem
gonna get
rocks like a 96. Ooh.
I mean, I can't wait. I think Fortune's Weave looks really good from what we've seen. I really hope it's good. I'm excited for that. Everybody's like talking about now that like their early game pick for like a shoe-in for their Game of the Year list is this new game called Cairn.
Yeah.
The simulating kind of climbing game. And I was listening to an episode of the MinMax podcast, and Jacob Geller was saying, this is like an amazing game. I really want people to play it, but I understand how what I'm about to say is not going to encourage people to play it. That it is the most stressful game he's ever played. And I'm like, I don't know that I want to do that. I've put it on my wish list. If it goes on sale, I'm going to try to play it sometime this year. But I'm really, really, really liking Nioh. Again, I played it for an evening, and it was all I could think about last night. And, I was dreaming about it already. A game is good when you're dreaming about it.
You're going to get turned into a Team Ninja head. You're going to be playing Strangers of Paradise. You're going to be going to play Wolong.
I don't know that I'll do Wolong, but I have Stranger of Paradise.
All I'm going to say is Nioh 3 apparently gets a lot of its improvements from Rise of the Ronin,
but has a bad open world. But Rise of the Ronin has a bad open world, so I don't really want to deal with it. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. The other thing that I played that I can just mention, I guess, that I enjoyed, I don't know, maybe Andrew, you'll take as a recommendation, is to go back and play The Wolf Among Us, one of the kind of classic Telltale game. I played that. It was like 7.5 hours. Really good. I'm gonna go and buy the comic books that they're based off of, the Fables, the DC Fables comic books that they're based off of. But I love just the noir take on, classic Fables. You are the big bad wolf, except he's a noir detective.
I like that. I like that idea.
I think they all live in the Bronx. I think Fabletown is in the Bronx. Did you know, Andrew, that Ad Hoc, the people behind Dispatch, were originally contracted to make Wolf Among Us 2, but they left. They left because of creative differences. Like, after having played the first one now, and obviously having played Dispatch and being all on for whatever Ad Hoc is doing, just the thinking of the what could have been, is really kind of heartbreaking at this point. But man, I've come to learn that like I love the good Telltale style game. I've played some like not great ones. I played the Expanse one. That was like the first game from like new resurrected Telltale. And as much as I love the Expanse series, I didn't think the game was that good. There is like there's a decent bit of like you have a significant impact in a choice you make, but like I didn't think it was that good. But this was excellent. It's just like it captures that feeling of what's so fun about like choose your own adventure style games, right? You feel this sense of agency that you're crafting this narrative, that you at least have this kind of co-ownership of the universe. So that was fun, and it was some good performances. The gameplay part of it has like a little bit of jankiness to it, or it has aged a little bit, but visually the classic Telltale art style holds up so well. It holds up so well. The stylized art direction.
I love their art directions is great. They're so good looking.
But like from an art perspective, it could have come out within the last few years, with the one exception of they have like I call it the BioWare eye, where a certain view of somebody's face, you'll see too much of the iris of somebody's eye. Like it's something that only like anatomists realize, is that you never actually see on a normal on any person. You don't normally see the full bit of their sclera or whatever, their eye. It's their eyelids cover part of it at some point, whether it's the above or below. But so when you see the whole thing, they just look fucking bug-eyed, and it's just a little off-putting at moments. That's classic BioWare to me. That's what I always think of, the BioWare stare. But now I'm on the hopium train that Wolf Among Us 2 will actually come out at some. But yeah, recommend that, Andrew, if you're looking cool. to scratch that itch. I have a couple of other ones of theirs, on the classic ones on my wish list. Like I'm looking for the full Walking Dead. The first Tales from the Borderlands is supposed to be good. The Batman one is supposed to be really good.
Oh, they had a Batman.
And it was the Batman one and Wolf Among Us, Batman, and I think some from Tales of the Borderlands. And I'm not sure about The Walking Dead though. But like it has a lot of the ad hoc people worked on those in high levels before splitting off. So again, you see the talent there. That was fun. I enjoyed that. All right. I think that's going to do it for our monthly recap of games we've been playing. Like, I got to go fucking edit this. You don't know how painful it is to me that I've got to go now spend time editing this episode rather than go play more Nioh. Like that's all I want to be doing right now. Like I know it's good when it's got its hooks like that. Like again, I was dreaming about it. I was stance switching in my sleep last night. Good folks, we will see you for something undetermined next week. Do some bit of content for next week, and then we'll just be back for a full news roundup at the end of the month. Till then, you can follow us on all the social medias and go play some good games. We will see you next time. Bye bye.